This is a very exciting live because it was actually planned, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it was planned. This is going to be one of my first live lineup where I'm going to be featuring different women from the community, from the tribe, and, basically sharing their stories on how they got to where they got to. So I follow so many different women that are just doing so many amazing things. So I just want to showcase that, and we started a little late today, but you already know. But we're featuring Dora, and here she is. Listen, on time, on cue. Okay. Come on, Titty. Listen. Whoa. It's not that kind of live. And she
Well,
came
it's
to
little
live
baby.
with the curls too.
You already know.
Listen. The energy is gonna be on 100 consistently. Okay, so this woman here, if you don't already know, you've seen her in Kendrick Lamar's video, All the Stars. You've seen her in almost every major beauty campaign. Okay, from freaking Kim K to freaking Uma to freaking anything. Listen, everything, honey. Like, she is. If you're trying to be somebody, if you're trying to go somewhere, you better ask Dora. I'm just saying.
Sis.
And she's my ambassador.
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well. City Girl Crow's she just works with all the greats. What can we say? So Dora, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started.
All right. Okay, first of all, hey, my name is Dora Owusu. Thank you, Felicia, for the grand introduction. Well, I started modeling in 2016. I was majoring in biology. I was in college, and I was like, this is cool and all, but I kind of fell into it. I did a photo shoot, didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And it ended up going kind of viral, and I was like, oh, snap!
And she's like, okay, this is something. This could be something.
This could be something, but I really didn't want to accept it because I didn't
Which one
think
was the one you went viral in first? Was it the swimsuit one?
It was the swimsuit one.
With Dunny's brand, yes. Dunny. Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I did that shoot. It went everywhere, and I was like, okay, maybe I can model, okay? But it wasn't something that I thought could be long term or could be lucrative for me. I just was like, I'm a student, but I model on the side. And then I started getting paid gigs. Well, I didn't get my first paid gig till since 6 months of shooting for free and practicing, doing some test shoots. And then I got a paid shoot, and I was like, oh my God, you can make money from this? What?
Yeah.
And so from then on, I was like, okay, well, I'm a student, model on the side. I'm still going to do medicine. But then modeling was kind of listen, girl, you like me.
Do it.
Just do it. Yeah, I finished school, and it was hard, balancing the two. But after I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go full throttle, see what happens, see where I can get, see where life takes me, and just go for it. And it's been 1.5 years, and I'm still out here, and I'm not thinking about
killing it. It's just you stay booked and busy. And what I love that you did, that a lot of people who want to start off in the industry, they think that, oh, I'm just gonna wake up and be a model. No, you should have a plan B. There's life after. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do when there's an age bracket between modeling that you can do in your prime. You know what I'm saying? If you're out there, if you're really in the industry, she's not just the Instagram model, y'all. She's not out here taking collabs and these people slide into her DMs. She's booked with an agency. She has a portfolio, not her Instagram feed. She has a real physical portfolio, y'all. So she's out there in the real world getting gigs and campaigns. So it's a lot different. It's a lot different to balance that and then go to school. Science is not my thing. That takes a special type of person. Okay, so she's smart. Okay, So you know, just like have more than one thing going for you when you start modeling, for sure. So like what was your first step? Like when you started, what was it that you think really pushed you to get to the next level, to get signed? Like what was it? Was it the Instagram stuff that got you there, or like how was it?
Okay, so I got my first paid gig with Anastasia Beverly Hills as my first paid gig in December of 2016.
Did they find you through Instagram or through your agency?
They found me through Instagram. I hadn't been signed yet. So
okay.
6 months into like doing some shoots, posting it on Instagram or whatever, right? It was actually a makeup artist that found me. And then I was like, oh my gosh, they want me, so I could just go and get signed. Like,
yeah.
I
Yes,
you are. I went to like 6 to 10 agencies right after that shoot, because I was like, they believe in me. These agencies will believe in me. And so I went with my portfolio, and my portfolio wasn't that hot, I'm not gonna lie, and I had only been modeling for a little bit. I didn't necessarily know what I even needed in my portfolio. I just had some shots, a couple of beauty shots, a couple of fashion, but nothing like too special. And so I went in, and they were all like, yeah, no. Like every agency said no. I was like, okay, all right. Bet.
But you didn't let that stop you though. Like you literally kept. And what were their reasons when they were telling you no? Like what was
they don't give a reason. They're just like, you're not right for us right now. You're not what we're looking for at the moment. I'm just like,
right.
Okay, all right. So I decided, well, I'm gonna take 2017 to build my portfolio. I'm going to shoot as much as I can, shoot some creative things. Because I'm not gonna lie. Like my first portfolio that I went in with, like looking back at it, it wasn't very strong. I think I had maybe 3 strong shots in there, but out of 12, like nothing. It wasn't grand, you know. It wasn't anything like.
But with your portfolio, when you say that out of your shots, like there are, because I know you have your commercial shots, then you have your editorial, I guess, and it's like, what is it like?
Yeah. So after they all told me no, I was like, what is it? So I started looking into, what do I need in my portfolio? What am I missing? What do these people want to see? Because I need to know. So I looked into it. I needed some swimsuit shots. I didn't have a swimsuit shot. I needed fashion. I only had like 1 fashion shot. Like fashion / editorial, beauty, the commercial look, like you said, like headshots and stuff like that. I didn't have that. So I spent 2017 like getting with photographers, reaching out, shooting different types of concepts, some creative, some more like, you know, headshot beauty type. And that's really what did it, because I had gone to New York summer of 2017 and I shot with like
so many people. Was it when you had shot with Underground?
I shot with Underground.
You were every day.
Yeah. Every day there was somebody to shoot.
I was like, this girl right here. I was like, if somebody don't, please put her on somebody's billboard, because like that as like the content that you was like posting, like you was just out there working, like you had a whole purpose. It was like you went out there with a mission, like you was not playing.
I was not playing. When I went to New York, I was like, okay, bet, like I gotta shoot with these photographers, and I gotta make my portfolio different, because these photographers are in New York, they're not in LA, and I'm trying to get signed in LA, but the creativity and the looks in New York are a little bit different.
With everything. It was hitting a little different though.
It was a little different. So I
needed that.
I needed it for real. So I went in and I did those shoots, got the shots, put them in my portfolio, and I went to agencies December 2018. So a whole year after I first went to agencies, like literally an entire year later. I went, and a couple of agencies were interested in me, but I didn't have a car at the time. And so like I kind of like settled for the agency that wanted to sign me first, because I was like, listen, y'all, I need a car again, and I'm trying to get booked and busy ASAP. So
Right.
I signed with an agency. I signed a 2-year contract with them. And the first year was good. It was just more, it was a small agency, developmental, and I liked it, but I felt like they weren't doing enough for me. You know,
Yeah, there was a point where you were getting more gigs off of Instagram than you were from them, and then you were like, "I'm doing all the work, and you guys still want a piece of my money? Like, where they do that at?" I remember.
Exactly. So I noticed. What is? Oh, so I noticed that I felt like I was doing a little bit more of the work than they were doing, and they were still getting the check. So I was like, I don't really like that. Something's got to change. I just didn't feel like my agents were doing enough for me. But since I was stuck in a 2-year contract, I didn't know how to go about it because it had been a year. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to do my own gig. I'm going to get my money on the side and pay my bills. And when those checks come, I'm going to just take it as a bonus because
were you exclusive to them, or did you?
I was.
Oh, so you really had to be like moving in silence for like, sure.
Venmo, Cash App, because because they were like, oh, like you can't book jobs outside of outside of us, and if you do, we have to know about it. And my agent verbally told me that if a job is under $400, they didn't need to know about it, but it wasn't in the contract. So when I decided that I was going to leave last year, like I tried to leave like July. I decided that I was going to leave because they had gotten a new agent in, and she was supposed to be my agent, but she didn't have the connections that she said she had. She was just all talk. She wasn't doing nothing for me. And I was like, you know what? It's time to go because I'm tired of y'all talking and not doing.
And not doing nothing. Read your contracts, y'all, and make sure. I feel like everybody's contract at this point in this collaborative age should be non-exclusive. Like, you should just be able to just be like, hey, you give me whatever you bring to the table and you get a percentage, and keep it like that. Like, you should be able to just work like that at this point.
It's
so really the new agency you're with does that? Like, you more like you can do whatever
agency, honestly, no matter what agency gives you a contract, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you get a lawyer to read it through. I know it's gonna cost the coin. But
it's gonna save so much stress and money in the future.
For real, because it bit myself in the ass when I tried to leave. They were like, well, you owe us this much money, because I also made another mistake by telling the new agent that I was booking gigs on my own. I was expressing to her my frustrations with the agency. And I was like, listen, I don't feel like I'm booking enough here. I feel like I'm booking more on my own than with you guys. These are the things that I booked, and that was a huge mistake by showing her the things that I had booked. And so when I said I was
learn from Dora, guys. No, this is a big thing. Like, that's a big thing.
Learn something from this.
If you're really trying to be seriously out here, just know that you don't got to tell everybody everything. Move in silence.
You don't.
You know?
You don't. You really don't.
You really don't.
That was mistake number one on my part. I shouldn't have shared nothing with her, but I did. And
honesty. Darn your honesty.
I know, right? Well, I gotta be wholesome.
I know.
So I told her, and I was expressing it to her, and then like 2 months had gone by, and she didn't do anything for me. I was like, all right, so I'm done. So I want to be out of this contract. They were like, okay, well, you owe us 20% of all the jobs that you booked on your own. And I was like, huh? And so they wanted that, and then they were withholding my checks from me.
Oh my gosh, no, they weren't. And especially since they're already probably like on a net 60 or something, where you already waiting forever for the check.
Girl, they try to be on a net 90.
Net 90?
Net 90. And tell
Okay,
me
so
why it
y'all
really
who
was
don't
in
know what that
90.
means, that basically means that they're holding your check for that amount of days. So
Pretty
90
much.
days,
Well, okay.
or they have until that amount of time to pay you.
Yeah. So they allow the client 90 days, right? They allow the client 90 days to pay. And sometimes when the client has even paid them, like say the client paid them within 30 days, 60 days, a model doesn't know because, well, we're technically not allowed to speak directly to the client, and right. The client could have paid them and they get the checks first. They cash it, they take their 20%, and then they give me the rest. So it could have also been, I'm not saying that it was, I'm just saying it could have been that they got the money in and was like, whew, we got to pay this bill. We got to do this. All right. And when we get some money from another client or from another model or whatever, they can go ahead and pay me. I know that some agents.
So wait, does that mean that, like, okay, so have you ever had a chance where a situation where you felt like you were undervalued, like you were on set with a bunch of people who got paid more or less or got paid sooner than you, when you're over here like, what the heck? Like,
how happened? It's happened twice with two different agencies, because I also had a body part modeling agency, because she's not just face, she's also hands.
So baby, you see that melanin. You see people pay thousands just to see the melanin on them. Understand? All the
exactly. Swatches. So I had a body part modeling agency for my hands. So like sometimes we'll do hand modeling to hold nail polish.
I love how she's showing off.
You know, like I'm just giving like a brief description of what a hand model may do, if it's not already obvious.
Right.
But anyway, so I was at that agency, and I had done a job where I noticed that multiple jobs continuously took 90 days to pay. And I was like, that don't sound right. So with that agency, I didn't book a lot from them. I didn't book often from them. So when multiples of my checks were coming in, like at the 90-day mark, like 3 months mark, I was like, okay, there's a problem. So I took it upon myself to reach out to the production company directly. I was like, since y'all don't want to know what you're doing. Technically, I wasn't supposed to, but my money is my money.
Right. Shoot, you can't wait on nobody to feed you. Shoot.
Period. So I reached out to the production company where they were like, we paid 2 months ago. I was like, oh.
Oh, really? So y'all eating and I'm starving. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So pretty much I was really nice with the agent. I was just like, hey, I was nice but stern. I just pretty much said, hey, just letting you know that you got the check, and if I don't get my check, I will be contacting the California Labor Board. So
period.
Please
right away, ASAP. They tried it.
And so I got paid 2 days later and cut ties with that agency. I just left that contract, whatever. So pro tip also, if you're going to leave an agency, make sure you got paid first. Make sure you got all of your money before you leave.
Right, period. That's just like when you hate one job, you don't quit that job before you have another job. That's kind of like that same philosophy. Like
facts.
Yes.
Facts. Now the reason why with my modeling agency, the reason why I had sent them that email like ready to leave was because I had another agency that was interested in me, which is the agency that I'm with now.
Yes.
Auto Models. Now Auto Models, A1 agency. I absolutely love them because she's honest, she's open, she's very transparent. Mm-hmm. I told her like my fears of like, hey, I was with this agency. They wanted 20% of the jobs that I was booking on my own. Like, is this something that you guys do? She said no. So I emailed her and I just had it in writing.
And you have a paper trail, guys. Keep a paper trail.
Oh, paper trail. I emailed my agent and I was like, hey, just going over what we had said on the phone. You will not be taking 20% of my earnings that I get on my own. She said, what we book you on is what we book you on. If we didn't book you, it's none of our business. And I have that in writing. So can't nobody say nothing.
That's
so
all
now
you need.
I be booking my own things. I be like,
and that's double the income for you, because I know. Okay, so like, what's the biggest break that you've gotten on Instagram, and what's the biggest break you got that your agency has brought in for you? It's like, oh my God, it's like so many.
It's crazy because they're both like, sometimes I don't know exactly which one did it because they're both intertwined in a way. Because on my agent's site, I'm a model. I'm a photo of me is on the site, and also a link to my Instagram is on my site. So it's on the site. Okay. So if they want to see more, they can go to my Instagram.
Right. Like, so what's the biggest break that you've gotten then? Recently, because I know it's a lot, shawty. You just please. You said less than an hour. Remember that.
I know. I just remembered it. Oh my God. Okay, now you got me thinking. Working with Skims was pretty cool, but that's
Kim K's line.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was kind of through Instagram though.
Okay.
Like somebody had found me and recommended me on it, and they hit my agent up, but they first found me on Instagram. So treat Instagram like your portfolio because people are looking. People
all
are
the
looking.
time. Your Instagram is your portfolio. Like
it is your portfolio.
It really is.
Like that's the main thing. Like even if agencies aren't interested in you right now, you don't necessarily have to. Not necessarily. You don't have to have an agent to get booked.
If you're not, I feel like yes, because I've also seen some influencers get cross over into the modeling world and doing campaigns because of they were popping on Instagram. So you know, and social media is really turning to be the new form of advertisement. So it's just kind of like, unless you're just like going to be on a billboard, the only other place you're really going to be seen is online. Somebody's phone. Like I saw you in my beauty supply store though. She was the model for the wig. So that
my God. And that one was through Instagram in a way. Like I met one of the girls on the team at BeautyCon. She followed me on Instagram, liked my stuff, invited me over. I said, hey, I'm gonna be in New York. They said, hey, we want you for the shoot. And I said, oh, okay. And now I'm on wig. So that's just sort of how it works. Like Instagram is definitely a huge tool. And another big tool for you potential models or aspiring models is New Book. This is real.
New Book.
I'm really giving out some tea because I book through New Book. If you can get on the app, put some pictures up.
Listen, y'all 29 y'all.
Yeah, there's only a couple people here, so
get that New Book. The New Book. So is it spelled NU or is it spelled the regular way?
The regular way.
Okay.
New Book. I just typed it in.
Okay, cool.
So you get on the app, you put pictures of yourself, your favorite photos of yourself, from your portfolio, put like 12 photos up, and brands go on there when they're looking for models, and you don't have to be signed.
Wow, that's like the new age for back in the days. For me, it was Model Mayhem.
Yeah.
So that sounds like what that is.
Thing. It's an app. Put yourself on. Don't wait for these agencies to put you on.
Listen, Dora, don't be surprised if you see my profile come across your feed.
I mean,
like, that's extra money. Why not?
Extra money. When I feel like, I haven't worked in about a week. Let me go on New Book and submit myself to some bookings and see what happens. You never know. That. It's like you feel like working. Go ahead.
That's a whole gem. That's a whole gem she just dropped right there. Like that was.
Ooh, I just.
Tumi, you came in just in time too, because I know she's an aspiring influencer. She's an influencer blogger, and she took pictures in my hair. Like she's really good. Yeah, definitely. So I guess it goes based off what gigs are going on in your city too.
Yeah, so it's based on what gigs are going on in your cities, and you can you can see the jobs that are there. I even saw Anastasia Beverly Hills on there the other day. I said, oh, so this is what you're doing now? Okay. Like, this is how y'all booking it, so you don't. Because
they're probably getting good deals on models too, since they're not really experienced.
Yeah, like honestly, like New Book is the middleman. They do take 10%, but honestly, you get paid in like 3 days after your job. You don't have to wait 30 days.
No,
So
30,
it's
60
like,
days. Oh,
honestly,
I
it's
love that.
just,
Yay! I love
yes,
that. Okay,
yes,
so with closing, I just want to, because we talked about all of the awesome things and you dropped some knowledge, but I want to talk about like the side where it's kind of like not everything glitters is gold, like
yes,
how you overcame adversity, like how you overcame ever feeling like undervalued, because I know as like a woman of color, we always get paid less. We're always somehow getting paid less than the girl who has less to offer. It's just kind of like, it's like how and why. So like, when you've ever found yourself in those situations, and like, what have you done?
Speak up. If I find out that somebody else is making more than me and we're doing the same job, something has to be said. And people don't like to be confronted. So, I always get my money.
Right.
I always get my money, and I always make sure it's the best of my ability to get my money's worth, because
and
yeah,
what about getting paid? People trying to pay you less too. Add that up in there. Trying to think, oh, because I'm so and so, I'm this big brand, that, oh, because I'm feeding you or whatever. That that's enough.
Sis, why do people think that they can get me from exposure?
Yeah, it's not right. It's not right.
Girl. Modeling is a service. Modeling is a service. And so if somebody tries to pay you in hair and makeup, don't let them do that, because hair and makeup is standard. You're supposed to get your hair and makeup done. If
Hold
your hair
on,
and makeup
and let's speak in the context, unless you are now starting to build your portfolio and you have no experience. But if you have established yourself, like that's why I'm talking about Dora. Since she's established, it's like I didn't put in my work. I didn't have my days. Now it's time. I'm worth this. This is what I worked up to. Pay me, period. You know?
Facts. Now, I have had some shoots where I've done it like, okay, how about this? We'll just say this, because everybody is different. Whatever you feel like, if you feel like you're gaining something, then do it. Because I've done a shoot, like I did a shoot the other day where it wasn't paying as much, but I loved the people. I loved the energy. It was such a fun day. I left with some clothes. I left with some product. And I had a good time. I wasn't doing anything that day anyway, so I might as well, do something that I like. So in that sense, yeah, like if you feel like getting your hair and makeup done, maybe you got somewhere else to go right after the shoot, okay, boom, that can work for you. But if you want a day off, or you got something else going on and you feel like somebody's trying to like not pay you or undervalue you, then you have to speak up and let it be known that, listen, like this is it's okay
to say no, because
it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no.
You're not missing out, because something better always comes. Like when you say no, something better, it's like you forgot that situation even happened. You're like, oh yeah, you did try it.
For real.
You try it. People try it, because I've come across brands that like they have the money, but they just want to try to jinx and just freeload off of people's exposure, when it's just like, you got the funds. Like, why are you trying to play me? Why are you trying to play?
Facts, but it's business. Brands are obviously going to try to keep as much money back in their pocket as they can. They're not going to want to pay anybody, like, you know, sometimes what they're worth, like they don't always come forward with a great rate. So, you have to let it be known up front, how many hours are you working? Like, your time is valuable. Time is money. So you really got to make sure you're spending it right. And yeah, there has been,
and make sure your rates are reasonable, and that they value up to what you have to offer, because don't have charging $500 or whatever, or $2,000 or whatever. It's crazy, and then it's not matching. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be fair.
That is absolute.
Rate yourself fairly.
Be very real with yourself. Be realistic. And if you feel like you are worth a certain amount of money, then go ahead. But if you know, like, okay, and this is no disrespect. This just means you have growing to do, and we always growing.
Right.
So I feel like if you feel like, you know, I do need some practice, I do want to work with this photographer, I do want these, I need these things, then go for it, do it. Like, be reasonable. Meet them halfway. Meet them halfway, because if you're saying that, you know, you want X amount of money for the day, for the job, for whatever, and you're providing like this level of service.
Don't ask for what you can't give, shawty.
Don't ask for what you can't give.
So always follow your instincts. Like she said, when she picks gigs and when she chooses to collab or not collab with people, it's based off of energy. It's based off of, hey, I may not be benefiting from you monetarily, but the content that I'm going to create is going to help build my portfolio so that I can continue to get gigs. Like, you kind of pick and choose how you're going to do it.
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
Kind of pick and choose. And that's just how it is. Like, because I know that there's celebrity models that collab and we don't know. We just assume they're getting paid. But it's like, oh, that's my friend. Like, that's her clothes. Like, I'm just wearing it for her. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you just feel it out and grow with it. Responsible safety tips for when modeling, which is the last thing we're responsible. Be responsible, guys. Like, don't. Every photographer who slides into your DM with the camera is not a photographer, okay? Some of them are just perverts trying to get pictures of you. So really just pay discernment, energy, pay attention to all of those things.
Yeah. Don't do nothing you're not comfortable with. If a photographer wants you to
be naked,
get naked. If you don't want to do that, you don't got to do that.
If that's not
no one photographer is going to make or break your career. No one job will make or break your career, you know. But what will make or break your career is your reputation and how you treat people when you're on set and how you treat people when you're shooting. How are you on? Like, the type of person that you are is what will really set you apart, you know, because
they talk. People talk.
They
are gonna be like, so oh yeah, I worked with her too. Oh yeah, I know her too. Oh really? And so you just kind of like
experience with her. Oh,
I was like, just don't tell me nothing. I've heard nothing but good things every time I mention Dora though. Like, they're like, oh Dora, so yay. That's like the same like every time. Like,
that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
Definitely.
I love it.
Okay. But so yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it. I know, like, Dora's trying to go furniture shopping and I'm trying to eat. So
yeah, somebody asked me my height and I'm 5'6".
Okay, and oh shoot, this is questions from something else. Okay, because I know I wasn't reading the comments at all. But I'm gonna save this video and I'm gonna upload it on the Tribe Talk so that you guys can like see everything and like catch up. And yeah, this is the first, and I'm so glad I did it with you because like Dora and I are so cool. So it was just like a natural vibe and it just flew naturally. So awesome. Yay. I'm so glad you liked it.
Yay. I'm glad we did this.
Me too. So so if you guys want to hear more, DM me on the Tribe Talk or on my business, on my personal page. Let me know if you want to hear more from Dora, because then we can do a podcast. So it's like up there permanently. So y'all, anytime you got questions, just forward it over right there.
Yes.
All right. And Dora, closing, like your name and everything.
My name is Dora Owusu. I'm a model and an influencer. And go out there and become models. Be great.
Go out there and be great. And that's
be great.
That's our Instagram.
People with respect and be great.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.